Hey, it's Matt Dubiel from mattonair.com, and I'm in the Hard Rock San Diego hot tub. As you can see, it's gorgeous, but there's nobody here. It's just me. See? Which I'm totally cool with, by the way. Although if anybody was here, I wouldn't be either way. The reason why I'm here, and incidentally, it's a weekday. It's the middle of the day. I don't normally hot tub, ever, but especially not in the middle of a weekday. And the reason why is because I had to go with the flow today. You ever heard that phrase, go with the flow? I don't know if it has like meditational, Taoist, high-level Buddhist roots, that phrase. However, I learned about the word flow this weekend from a few people. It was a word that I saw some speakers and met some really enlightened cats, and they used this word flow quite a bit. And they used it like being in a state of flow, and it really kind of jumped out at me, and I really dug it. And it reminded me of Jerry Maguire when Jerry and Cuba Gooding Jr. I just mixed it up. So Jerry Maguire and Rod Tidwell. Jerry Maguire, of course, who loves black people, and Rod Tidwell, who wants you to show him the money, are talking in the bathroom, and Rod tells him that he wants Jerry to bring him the Quan. And Jerry's like, whoa, Quan, that's your word? What is that? And Rod Tidwell, played by Cuba Gooding Jr., says it's Quan. It's the love, the respect, the dollars, all of it. It's, and he's like, it's the Quan. That's what I kind of got from this word flow. And I think that if you Google it and if you look up some of these meditational guys and stuff, there's probably like a real definition of flow and what it is and how you get it, and or how you try. You probably never get it, but you're in it more than you're not in it. And I think a lot of us are not in flow very often, right? And I think that that phrase "go with the flow" means that there's like a current in around us in the world. Not to get too like high level, because I don't know about any of that stuff. But I think there might be a vibe, a current, a flow, and probably different ones. And so, like when you get into the zone, and things are just going your way, I think it's kind of like that, right? Except it's not just things are going your way, it's even when they're not going your way, they're totally going your way, because you're going with the flow. You could probably go with the wrong flow, so I would imagine there's some sort of discovery of what your flow is and where it is and how it feels and what you have to do to get there. But I was out at dinner last night, and I didn't hear my phone ring, and I see I have a voicemail, and it's a message from American Airlines, who I was flying home on, and they said your flight's canceled. Oh, I had a 11 o'clock a.m. flight, supposed to get me home to Chicago today, in time for dinner, and in time to see my awesome family before they put their awesomeness to bed and go to sleep for the night. And so I called American Airlines in the morning. Here's the best part. I was in flow last night. I was talking to some people, having a good time, had some dinner. I didn't really want to deal with the flight. There's nothing I could do about it, right? I mean, I can't change the fact that my flight was canceled. I can only go with the flow. So I went, all right, I'll go with the flow. In the morning, I'll call and see what's up. And I'm sure they'll tell me what to do and how to do it. Or not. And then I will also, when I get to that point in time, go with the flow. And that's what I did. I continued with my night. I didn't stress or obsess over like, oh man, my flight's canceled, or what am I going to do tomorrow, blah, 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 because that would totally have blown my flow for the night. And it's not worth it, right? So I went with the flow, continued to go with the flow, woke up, had some breakfast, went, oh yeah, my flight's canceled, I better do something about that. called my wife first thing to let her know, hey, the original flight's canceled. I don't know what's doing yet, but when I find out, I'll let you guys know. Called the airline. They said, we're sorry, there was a problem with the plane, blah, blah, blah. Whatever, it doesn't matter what the reason is, because there's nothing I can do about it. And they offered me an alternative. Actually, they offered me a couple alternatives. And the alternative was to fly out at later time, 3 in the afternoon. Doesn't get me home until 9:20 at night. And I was a little bummed because my kids had 3 wonderful little children in my house, my little people. The mafia was going to be asleep by 9 o'clock. They go to bed usually 9, 8 o'clock, maybe sometimes later in the summer. So I was like, all right, well, I don't have a choice. Just got to go with the flow. I'm having my breakfast. I got some time to kill clearly. What am I going to do? And then started thinking about how I would go with the flow today. And then something cool happened. Something really cool happened. So I called my wife back and I said, hey, here's the details. The flight gets in at 9:20 in Chicago. It's probably pretty late. I'll just get a car home. I'll see you when I get home. And since I was going with the flow, she totally decided to go with the flow. And she said, well, we'll come pick you up. Really? Are you sure? 9:20, 3 little kids driving all the way from the suburbs to the airport and the whole thing. And she's like, yeah, it'll be fun. The kids will love it. I'll get them some ice cream or something on the way, and then we'll come get you. Awesome. And so I went with the flow. She went with the flow. And now the mafia is going to be going with the flow tonight, and that's going to mean ice cream and daddy and, you know, a couple of little tchotchkes from the road and lots of hugs and kisses and a really awesome day. And so I went with the flow, she went with the flow, they're going with the flow. I'm totally relaxed about it all. And then I went, all right, cool. I got some time to kill, and can I have my hotel room a little bit longer? Call the front desk. Here's what happened. Really having a good time here, but I would like to go home, but my flight's canceled. Can I have my room a little bit longer? Guess what happened? The Hard Rock went with the flow too. They were like, of course. Take your time. Do your thing. It's Monday. we don't need your room yet. You're cool. Enjoy yourself. Shower. Do whatever. And so then I went down to the hot tub. And then I thought, you know what? This is pretty cool. I'm no Zen master. I'm no expert on energy or vibes or flow or any of that stuff. But I don't think you have to be. I think you just have to do what feels like it's working out and go with the flow. Did you see her? Go with the flow. Try it. Or don't. If it feels right, try it. If you feel like going with the flow, go with the flow. That's what I'm going to do. And I think there's a book called Flow. And I don't know who the author is, but I'll post it on my blog. And if I find out any more stuff or read about it, I'll share it with you. And maybe we can get some other cool people to go with the flow in the meantime. So, or not. Because if you're going with the flow, it doesn't really matter if anybody else is. In fact, I think sometimes it means they're going to be going with the flow automatically. So, thanks for stopping by mattonair.com and go with the flow.